to cricket. So first thing first, Indian women's team has won their uh, group stage match versus New Zealand women's tomorrow. And after winning the match, Indian women's team is now basically in semi-finals of Women's Cricket World Cup. And the thing is that they might be playing Australia because they are topping the group right now, and there's a chances that Indian women's team will face Australia women's team in semis as they are topping the group and India is in the fourth position. So India women's team has played well yesterday as informed. India due to rain, the match was shortened. Indian women's team has got only 44 overs to bat, and they have scored 340 runs for the loss of 3 wickets. Smriti Mandana and his partner Pratik Araval both scored centuries. Smriti Mandana scored 109 runs, smashed 10 boundaries and 4 sixes, and in 95 balls scored 109. Pratik Araval scored 122, faced 134 balls, smashed 13 boundaries and 2 sixes, and scored 122. Jemima Rodriguez scored 76 not out. Harmanpreet Kaur, skipper of Indian women's team, has scored 10 runs in 11 balls with 1 boundary. Richa Ghosh faced only 1 ball and scored boundary. So India women's team ended on 340 for the loss of 3 wickets in their 49th over, and due to rain, no further batting was possible. Like there was one more over which they supposed to play, but they didn't due to rain, and the match got shortened at first, and New Zealand were given a target of 325 runs. Actually, it should be 340 one run in 49 overs, but there was a rain break again, which has taken place, and New Zealand uh, were asked to chase 325 in 44 stipulated overs. So the start wasn't great for them. Susie Bates, Susie Bates, lost his got out when the score was 1. She got out at score 1 run. Kranti Kaur has taken the wicket. Then there was a 50 runs partnership for the third wicket between Georgia Plymouth and Amelia Kerr. After scoring 51 and after Georgia Plymouth scored 30, she was dismissed by Renuka Singh. Amelia Kerr scored 45 in 53 balls, and the next batter who was dismissed was Sophie Devine, called out for just 6 runs. 6 runs, and at that point of time, New Zealand's score was 59 for 3. After that, another good partnership has taken place at that point of time. 56 runs partnership between Amelia Kerr and Brooke Halliday. Brooke Halliday has scored 81 runs. She has been the highest scorer for New Zealand innings, and at 115 they have lost the wicket of Amelia Kerr, who was batting well. Scored 45 runs. After the dismissal of Amelia Kerr, Maddie Green went to bat, and she lost her wicket after a 39 runs partnership. She scored 18 runs in 20 balls, and after her dismissal, Isabella Geese walked out and scored quickly. Scored 65 runs in 51 balls, and was able to do a great partnership alongside Brooke Halliday, who was batting well. Brooke Halliday scored 81 and Mary Isabella Gaze scored 65, and they lost. Uh, both them were trying to score a little bit quickly, but it wasn't happening. So Brooke Holiday got dismissed in 226 for 6. Then after there was a partnership of 40 runs between Jasker and Isabella Guess, and Jasker got out at 266 for 7. By that time, the match was already over. That was the 43rd over, and then Rosemary Mayer got out after just scoring 1 run, and with the 5 runs partnership. And in the end, New Zealand at the end of 44th over, the end of stipulated over, were 271 for 8. Indian women's team has won the match by 53 runs via DLS method, and most likely Indian women's team will face Australia in the semi-finals, which can be a very interesting scenario. Now, in Women's World Cup, top two teams, or basically the teams who are leading the points table in Women's Cricket Women's World Cup, Australia and South Africa will face each other tomorrow, and uh, can become a very interesting match because these two are basically table toppers right now, and whatever they do, them it might affect table right now because England also has one match to go. Indian women's team has one match to go, so it can still influence some sort of, like, if um, suppose both Australia women's and South Africa women's have won 5 each. Australia is on 11 points currently, whereas South Africa is on 10 points. So if Australia wins, they will remain table toppers, no doubt about that. They will reach 13 points with that. But if South Africa wins, in that case, South Africa will reach 12 points and they will become table topper. And that means if India, if table after that table, the point table does not get any kind of changes, India will face South Africa. Now, England has a match versus New Zealand, and if somehow England wins this match, they are currently in 9. Now, suppose South Africa doesn't win their game against Australia, so England will reach 11, Australia will reach 13. So that makes England in the second position. That takes England to the second position, and they will most likely face Australia or South Africa, whatever at that point of time, if the table, whatever the table scenario at that point of time. So it will become interesting. Again, another thing which needs to be checked out, or which needs to be carried out right now, is the third and final game between India and Australia. The third and final ODI match will be played on Sydney Cricket Ground. Now, it will be very like, if we check, Australia will most probably will play the team which has won the ODI series. That means Travis Head will be there, Mitch Marsh will be there. Yeah, he will be there because he's the skipper. Matt Short will be there. Matt Renshaw will be there. Alex Carey, wicketkeeper, will be there. Cooper Canoli will definitely be there. Mitch Owen definitely will be there. Mitchell Stark, I believe if they do not give any rest, Mitchell Stark Mitchell Stark will be there. Otherwise, there's chance of Jack Edwards will be coming up. Xavier Bartlett will be there, Adam Zampa, or Josh Hazlewood. If any changes happens, it can happen only if only to from the bowlers in. I don't think batters will get any rest. I believe bowlers, one of the bowler will get rest who has played two matches. Uh, India is unlikely to play the same side which hasn't been able to win the match. There are chances that instead of like Nitish Kumar Reddy through Jurel Tangam, Kuldeep Yadav can make an appearance as well. Prasidh Krishna can come can replace Harshit Rana, and I think rest of the team will be remaining the same because no, uh, I don't believe there will be many changes. Now, Sydney, if we check, India has a good record. India versus let's check India versus Australia ODI matches in Sydney. What does what does previous ODI stats suggest? Well, India, as per Google, India have been beaten in their last three ODIs at the Sydney Cricket Ground against Australia. Their last win at this venue in this format has came in 2016 when they have chased 331. Rohit Sharma at that match has scored 99 of 108. Manish Pandey has scored 104 not out. If you believe that this was also the match where Mahendra Singh Dhoni played till the last, and in the very last over he went ahead and gave Manish Pandey the opportunity to finish the game, and he was dismissed, and Manish Pandey actually finished the game in the last over. So this was the last win as per the Google. This was the last ODI victory in Sydney Cricket Ground against Australia. So if India does not win this game, Australia will win this series with 3-0 result. It will be a whitewash, wash, whatever you like to call it. Hoping that India will win this match and somehow stop this. But even if this is a whitewash or a clean sweep, whatever, I believe India is currently in transition period officially. I believe so because very soon we will see most of the senior players will be either getting axed or dropped or will not be getting selected. Like in this ODI series, we have seen lots of senior cricketers were not inside in this team because of many other reasons. They haven't picked Mohammad Shami. They haven't selected Jasprit Bumrah. Ravindra Jadeja isn't there, which is one of the major reason I think that India is not able to report or able to perform the way it should they should have been. Hardik Pandya is not there due to injury. That is also in case. But nevertheless, I believe that this will be a learning curve for us for our Indian team and Shubman Gill the captain, and it will serve us well in future. Right now, there are some other matches which has been taking place today. There's several other matches which has been taken place, but currently can't find it. Let's check what is the highest innings by Indian batter in ODIs in Sydney Cricket Ground. In one day internationals in Sydney Cricket Ground, South Africa has scored the highest total. South Africa has scored 408 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their 50 overs against West Indies on 27th February 2015, and the highest score in that game was obviously AB de Villiers, and this is one of the record-breaking innings where he scored 162 not out in just 66 deliveries. So this is the highest total by any team in Sydney Cricket Ground in ODIs. Now, if we check the highest total by Indian batters or Indian team is 338.49 in their 50 overs versus Australia, which they eventually lost game. Uh, the match was a day-night match in Sydney. It has taken place on 29th of November 2020. Australia has scored 389 for the loss of 4 wickets. Highest total was by Steven Smith, who scored 104. It was properly like David Warner, the opener, has scored 83. Aaron Peach, captain, scored 60. Marnus Labuschagne has scored 70. Glenn Maxwell scored 63 not out. And eventually, South Australia has scored 389 runs for 4 wickets. And when we came to bat, Virat Kohli scored highest. He scored 89, and KL Rahul scored 76. Other than that, Mayank Agarwal scored 28, Shikhar Dhawan scored 30, Shreyas Iyer scored 38, Hardik Pandya scored 28, Ravindra Jadeja scored 24, Navdeep Saini scored 10, and Mohammad Shami has scored 1. Yuzi scored 4 not out in this match. Eventually, India lost this game by 51 runs. So, Virat Kohli scored 89 here. We required some innings like that in the last match. At least some Virat Kohli fans will enjoy this kind of innings. The lowest totals in Sydney Cricket Ground is actually by Indian cricket team. India has scored 63 runs and they were bowled out in 25.5 overs versus Australia in Sydney in 1981. Not a happy memory. And in this match, in, Greg Chappell has not only scored 33 runs unbeaten, but also has picked up 5 wickets and picked also is given away just 15 runs. So the high score was by Gundappa Vishwanath. He scored 23. The second best is 16 by Roger Rinnie, who was batting as opener. And there were 5 extras. Uh, Dennis Lilly bowled 5 overs. There were 2 maidens, 3 runs. 5 overs, 2 maidens, 3 runs only, and 1 wicket. Rodney Hawk picked bowled 7 overs, 2 maidens, gave just 14 runs, and there were two. He picked 2 wickets. Greg Chappell, as mentioned, bowled almost 10 overs, 9.5 overs, picked up 5 wickets, and given away just 15 runs. And Len Pascoe bowled 4 overs and he was very expensive, 26 runs, and also picked up a wicket. Australia chased down this total. They have scored 64 runs in 21 overs. Greg Chappell scored 33 unbeaten, that is the highest total. So John Dyson scored 13 not out. Graham Wood scored 11. And Australia won this game by just by 10 wickets. Sorry, by 9 wickets. So this is the lowest totals. Now, most runs uh, in Sydney Cricket Ground in ODIs. Alan Border has scored 15 for 1,561 runs in Sydney Cricket Ground in ODIs. 127 is his highest score, and he's actually have 2 centuries in Sydney Cricket Ground. If we consider Indian cricketers here in Sydney, let us check what is the highest score, if there is any high score mentioned here. The highest score is by Rohit Sharma, 133. Rohit Sharma has scored 133 runs, and he scored in total 333 runs in Sydney Cricket Ground with 2 centuries. That is the highest score by an Indian in Sydney Cricket Ground, individual score. Sachin Tendulkar is second person who scored 315 runs, and his highest score is 170 not out. Okay. Now the bowlers, we check for the bowlers in Sydney. Most wickets is by Australian Glenn McGrath. Obviously, he's picked up 50 ODI wickets in Sydney. Ravi Shastri, his name is there as the best Indian bowler here. Let us check. He's picked up 9 wickets. His best is 3 for 30 here. Best bowling figures in an innings in Sydney in ODI cricket. As mentioned before, Greg Chappell's 5 wickets for 15 runs is the best figure by an Australian here. Let's see if we can find Indian bowling figure, best bowling figure here. So best is in a match. Seems like Javagal Srinath has picked up 4 wickets and conceded only 30 runs in his 10 overs versus Australia in 14th January 2000. That is the best bowling figures by an Indian bowler in Sydney ODIs versus Australia. So yeah, this is the current scenario. Indian cricketers uh, need to pile up the big total in Australia if they want to win, in Sydney if they want to win, and hopefully the spinners will come into the play in Sydney Cricket Ground. Hoping for the best that India somehow able to defeat Australia in the series, and hoping that they can avoid the clean sweep. But it will make uh, obviously it will not change anything. But after this ODI series, India will play a five-match T20I series versus Australia, where the team will completely change. There will be only few players who will be playing in both ODI series and T20I series. And after this, for those people who will want to know what are the next ODI matches that India will play again, so let us check. So after this, India will play their an ODI series of a three-match ODI series versus South Africa, which will start from 30th November. The first match of this series will be played in Jharkhand, Ranchi, Jharkhand. Will be played on 30th November. Then the second match will be played in Raipur on 3rd of December. And the third and final match will be played in Vishakhapatnam, Andhra Pradesh. It will be played on 6th of December. So a long way to go for all the fans of ODI cricket or Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma. There is a specific news that now after this ODI series and T20I series versus Australia in Australia, India will travel back home, and their next assignment is versus South Africa. They are going to play a two test match series against South Africa. The first test match will be played on Eden Gardens, Kolkata, from 14th to 18th November, and the second test match will be played on 22nd to 26th November, and it will be played in Guwahati Barsapara Stadium. So this is the current scenario. It has been discussed like Indian women's team. Congratulations to for Indian women's team to reach the World Cup semi-finals, and hopefully they will win their next all the matches and win the trophy and keep the World Cup trophy in their home. But it is highly unlikely. Most of the fans may and we believe that team Indian women's team have chances, but previously we had our chances. We didn't. We let the match go from our grip, and we have lost the match. So, uh, what can be said is that we should celebrate that Indian women's team in semi-finals of World Cup, and hoping that the trophy will remain in home. So, thank you very much for being in live with me, for tolerating me in this live. Thank you, and hopefully have a good night. Thank you very much once again for providing your valuable time. Bye.